afternoon, my name is Storm and I'm going to critique my emotional resilience and coping skills during the fieldwork placement at the residential aged care facility. I experienced quite a few difficult scenarios with one particular resident. He's an older Croatian gentleman who came to Australia after the war. He does have a large family, but recently we found out that his family have been visiting him less and less because he's quite a negative person and he does experience depression. The first couple of times my student partner and I met with this particular resident, he wouldn't look at me when I asked him a question, and although he did answer some of my questions, he would direct his answer towards my student partner and engage in conversation with him. My student partner is male. So this didn't really bother me. It just made me try and think and come up with different ways that I could get him to engage in a conversation with me. While still being respectful, because I didn't want to be too pushy. Effective communication with him turned out to be quite challenging anyway. Eventually he did make eye contact with me and we had some good but short conversations in the end, which were based solely on like a few of his interests and what the things were that he wanted to do. Out of the whole time that we spent at the residential aged care facility, he probably had about 2 good days while we were there, where he was happy to talk with myself and my student partner, and we observed him participating in group activities and also playing card games with a friend that he did have in the facility as well. After about week 8 or 9, every time we attempted to engage this resident in therapy, he would say he felt sick, he didn't want to talk at this moment, he just wanted to lie down. So after each of those meetings, we would go and tell the nurse, liaise with the nurse and the carers to find out if there was something that had happened. Why does he feel sick? Has he had his medication? Is he due for medication? And each time the response was the same: he'd had his medication, there's no reason for him to be feeling sick. So each week we would try something different to get him to at least talk with us, but each week he just got more stern with us. And it was almost like he was telling us off. He just wanted us to leave him alone, pretty much. I could understand it, but it was also very frustrating at the same time. Sometimes I just felt like I wanted to walk away and just scream. But yeah, I couldn't. So I didn't take his responses to us personally, but it was difficult to be pushed away week after week and not really get anywhere, and also it was really exhausting. The conversations that we did have him, we had to put so much effort into getting him to engage in a short, like 1-minute conversation. It almost made me feel like I felt like I was defeated before even getting anywhere. Before I even stepped foot in the door, I was always anticipating that we were going to have this negative response and he wasn't going to talk to us. And it started to wear me down after a little bit. So what worked, talking with my student partner helped because he was obviously experiencing the same thing as me, so he understood what it felt like. Talking with the other carers about him as well helped. It helped me to understand that he had been like this for a very long time, and he was like that with the carers and nurses and his family as well. So that made me feel a little bit better. Also because they were around him and got to see him every day, so they'd kind of built up their own special rapport with him, whereas we were only there once a week, and we weren't spending all day with him, so that made it difficult as well. We probably should have used our clinical reasoning to conclude the therapeutic relationship with this resident, because really we didn't do a good job at all. We barely got past set the stage in the CPPF, so we didn't set the stage very well. We kept trying though, because when he did have his couple of good days, he was so keen to participate in interventions that we had planned for him, because he wanted to do something and he wanted to be kept busy. So the fact that we were going to assist him to become more engaged in occupations within the facility and out in the community, it seemed to make him happy and he wanted to talk about it, but after that we just did not get any further. I feel that my emotional resilience skills were appropriate for this experience. I have had 15 years in the workforce to build up a good range of coping skills, so I was able to manage those feelings of frustration and quite well. I was able to let go and move on from the difficult situations to be able to effectively engage with the other residents. I did find it difficult to not assume we would get a negative response each time we met with him. So I do need to work on focusing on the positives each time in a situation and use those to improve my ability to build rapport with future clients who experience depression. Thank you.